If there is one thing Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has mastered, and I mean truly mastered, it is the art of timing. Not just royal timing, not just Hollywood timing, but the kind of timing that makes people pause mid-scroll, blink twice and say, "Wait, she did what now?" Because just as Valentine's Day energy begins to float through the air, pink hearts, overpriced chocolates, and relationship expectations rising faster than inflation, Meghan Markle steps in and says, "Actually, let me make this sweeter." And she does it with roses, rosé, jam, symbolism, love, and just the lightest sprinkle of royal side-eye, the classy kind. The kind that smiles politely while winning. Now, let's talk about what really happened here. Because this was not just a lifestyle brand announcement. Oh no, this was a moment, a carefully curated, beautifully styled, emotionally layered moment, and honestly, a masterclass in soft power. So, Meghan Sussex, yes, we're saying Sussex because she's earned it, is officially embracing the Valentine's Day spirit. And not in the "here's a generic heart-shaped product" way. No, Meghan's version is intentional, personal, and quietly joyful. Especially meaningful. Prince Harry is back home. Not on a screen, not on a phone call, not on a transatlantic Zoom meeting with bad Wi-Fi. He's home, in California, with Meghan, with the kids, in their real life. And suddenly the energy shifts. Because love looks different when you're reunited after duty, distance, and the weight of expectations that never really belonged to you in the first place. So what does Meghan do? She announces not one, but two, as ever product drops, timed perfectly to land within hours of each other, right as the Valentine's mood kicks in. Subtle? No. Strategic? Absolutely. Sweet? Painfully so. As Ever's Instagram page shared a countdown to 10 p.m. on January 27th, accompanied by a grid of Valentine-themed images that felt less like marketing and more like an invitation into someone's home. And the caption? "Tomorrow we revisit something sweet. One flavour worth the wait, another worth returning for. Sign up so you don't miss it." Now, pause right there. Worth the wait. Worth returning for. If that doesn't sound like a love story that survived storms, tabloids, exile and reinvention, then I don't know what does. This wasn't just about jam. This was about patience, about consistency, about building something slowly and deliberately, even when the outside world keeps screaming for spectacle. And yes, she punctuated it with a heart letter emoji, because Meghan Markle knows exactly when to lean into softness. One of the featured photos showed a romantic spread that practically whispered, "We're doing just fine over here." Red roses, chocolate, raspberries, strawberries, 2 wine glasses. And those glasses? Appearing to be filled with as ever's Napa Valley rosé. Now, here's the thing, this wasn't flashy. This wasn't ostentatious. There were no crystal chandeliers or palace backdrops. This was intimacy, the kind of setup you'd expect from people who actually like each other, who enjoy slowing down, who don't need to prove anything to anyone. And that, right there, is what makes people uncomfortable. Because happy, unbothered couples who move quietly and build intentionally, they ruin certain narratives. Then came the detail that made everyone smile. A simple button reading, "Press for jam." Now tell me that isn't peak Meghan, playful, self-aware, a little wink to the media chaos she stepped away from. Because yes, the press did press her, constantly, aggressively, relentlessly. And what did she do? She turned it into jam. Sweet, homemade, intentional, preserved joy. If that's not poetic healing, I don't know what is. This also hinted that one of the upcoming releases will include her trademark preserves a signature that's becoming synonymous with her brand. Not mass-produced noise, but something crafted, something thoughtful, something that takes time. Now, remember, this Valentine's release marks Meghan's second as ever drop of the year, following the January 13th launch of her A Moment to Unwind set. And can we just pause and appreciate that name? Because while critics were busy counting clicks and measuring imaginary failures, Meghan was out here saying, actually, here's a moment to rest. Not hustle culture, not chaos, not constant proving, just unwind. And now she follows it with love, with sweetness, with warmth. That's not accidental, that's sequencing. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because tucked into that photo grid were subtle but unmistakable nods to Prince Harry, and if you blinked, you missed them. One image featured as ever's palm tree logo. Now, if you've followed Meghan for any length of time, you already know what that means. She once described the palm tree as a symbol of her love story, with Harry, two individuals standing strong, growing separately but rooted together. That's not branding, that's personal mythology, and the fact that she chose to include that symbol right after Harry returned home. Yeah, that's intentional. Another image showed Meghan holding an as ever card, her signature ring stack catching the light engagement ring, wedding band, history, commitment. No announcement needed, no caption required, just presence. Because while all of this was unfolding online, Harry and Meghan were also stepping out together at the Sundance Film Festival in Utah. Not as a performance, not as a spectacle, but as partners, supporting stories, supporting creativity, supporting voices that don't always get centre stage. You know, the things they've always said they care about. And somehow, despite years of predictions, rumours and dramatic headlines, here they are, still aligned, still laughing, still moving forward. Let's be honest for a second. The reason moments like this unsettle certain corners of the internet isn't because of jam, or rosé, or Valentine's aesthetics. It's because Harry and Meghan were supposed to fail loudly. They were supposed to collapse under pressure, to crawl back apologetically, to disappear quietly. Instead, they rebuilt. They chose love over institution, meaning over obligation, peace over permission. And now, they're thriving in ways that don't fit outdated definitions of royal success. And that's exactly why Meghan posting strawberries and rosé becomes headline news, because it represents something deeper. What Meghan Sussex is doing right now isn't loud rebellion. It's something more unsettling. It's normalcy on her own terms, a business built around care, a marriage rooted in choice, a life that doesn't revolve around approval. And Harry? He's right there beside her. Not as a spare, not as a headline, but as a husband, a father, and a man who chose happiness and paid the price with eyes wide open. And honestly, that's brave. So yes, Meghan is embracing Valentine's Day, but she's also embracing ownership of her story, of her timing, of her joy. And she's doing it with roses, jam, and a smile that says, we're good, truly. And that, my friends, might be the most powerful love story of all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, and you love seeing Harry and Meghan living freely and fully, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, because independent voices matter more than ever. And if you'd like to support the channel, check the description for the Buy Me a Coffee link. Every bit helps keep these conversations going. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, sometimes the sweetest victories come in jars labelled jam.